Check out this ass right here. Yeah, not me. I'm talking about the car. Hey, welcome to the Ozzstar channel. On today's fun project, we're going to do another modification on my Grand Sport back here. So if you've got a C7 Corvette, it's a Grand Sport. Z06 has the same spoiler. Now, if you have a Stingray, you can upgrade to this spoiler, but let me show you what's going on. What we're going to be doing is replacing these, what's called winglets on the spoiler. Now, the Stingray has a different setup, but you can buy an optional spoiler like this to fit. And we're going to go with a GM, what they call winglet. And this is the winglet here. It's held on with these 5 T10s. There's one around the corner right there. And basically, it's a part of an aerodynamic package. And this is a stage 1. So they have 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to go stage 2. And basically, it not only improves the aerodynamics, and that's mostly for track, high speed kind of things, where if you don't know what downforce is, as the wind flows, its aerodynamics flows over that spoiler, it's going to put downforce. So basically, the ass end of the car sticks, better to the track or the road or wherever you're driving. Anyway, the stage 2, what it is, let me come around this way and I'll show you. So the stage 1 is about a 1/2 inch. Can you see that right there sticking up? So what we'll do with stage 2 is we come up about, I think it's 1.5 inches higher. Here's the part number we're going to go with. That's the GM stage 2. And let me open this up. Now, I've already opened the box, but I want to make you aware of something. And I'm not sure if I'm going to add it in this video or not, but when you buy these, even from GM, now there are aftermarket companies, and you pull them out, here they are, they're expensive piece of plastic basically. This one is for the right side. You may notice scuffs and scratches. So, I don't know what it is. I've read about it, and sure enough, when I got mine, they were scuffed. So, you know what? Let me show you real quick how to take care of those, because they're not going to look too pretty. Some have more damage than others. It's just in the clear coat. Let's check it out. So I brought it outside here in the sun, and hopefully now you can see, like right there, there's a good imperfection. Where else? Like up by my thumb right here. You can see there's almost like a nub that they try to sand out. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll polish this out. We'll get some rubbing polish, some of that'll take all these scuffs out. We'll do that first. Now on the back side, you're only going to see the top part, because where the red double-sided 3M tape is, obviously that's going to be attached to the spoiler. We won't see that. So why don't we polish this out? I'll show you guys how to do it. The other one has similar damage. It's just some light scuffing, really, and in the clear coat, and it should come out. So I have a couple of LED work lights set up over here so I can really get a good idea of what's going on with the polishing process. So I don't think you'll be able to see it. Well, you might be able to. So I see damage right there in the camera. Later in the editing, I'll check it out. But my point is, it's light scratching in the clear coat, and we just need a light polish. So I use Gary Dean's. This is his all-in-one. So after I polish this, it's also going to protect it. And later on, I'll put the ceramic coating on there, which is also on the car itself. So if you don't have this, you could use something like a Meguiar's 205. That's a light polish, unless you have really deep scratches. So I'm not going to bother machine polishing this, because it's not that much surface to get everything set up, and it's not worth my time just to plug in the cord. But anyhow, I will go ahead and work this in, and it'll take me a little bit of time. But what I'll do is, after this is, I'll just do a section for you guys, and we'll put it up to the camera, and hopefully we'll be able to see the results. And shouldn't have to put in too much effort, really. And what I do is, work this in, and then I'll wipe it off, and then check my results. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it, but wow, that wasn't much effort, and it's really looking nice. Look at that difference. So right there, everything's nice and smooth now, and I stopped right about here. You're not going to be able to see it. I don't think this is This has a lot of imperfections in it, and right there is nice and slick. So let me do that, and then we'll be all prepped to put it on the car. So I spent about 20 minutes polishing both of them. Didn't take too long. There was only one or two scratches that were kind of deep. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty close, and definitely ready to go on the car. So why don't we get to that step next? So the first thing that I want to do is, and this is optional if you've got a good steady hand, which I do, maybe you don't need some tape, but I'm just taking regular blue painter's tape. And this is a precaution because the last thing we want to do is scratch the car. So I'm just going to put some tape right along here. It's, like I say, just to, you never know, something slips or accidents happen. We don't need that. And you know what? It only takes, you know, to do both of these, maybe a minute. So that's it. 1 minute, and a little piece of paper tape can actually make your day go by a lot smoother. So let's just do that. I'm putting this on right there. And then I'll do the other side too. What I think I'll do is for you guys is I'll do this, you know, I'll install this one, and then I'll make sure the camera's on so we can compare it to the stock. You know, well, when I say stock, it comes with the stage 1. It is an option that you can, you know, you can order it from General Motors if you want. Now, from what I understand, when I read about the aerodynamics of it, the engineering, and if you know any different, let me know. But what I've read is that this stock 1/2 inch up here, stage 1, puts about 125 pounds of downforce on it. So that pushes the car, you know, down. And I don't know if that's at 100 miles an hour, but that's something when you're on the track at high speed really helps to keep the bottom, you know, the rear end of the car down. Anyhow, when you go to stage 2, which we're doing, that's about 250 pounds down force. And then if you want to get crazy and go to stage 3, which is the winglets we're going to use plus a center strip. There's a clear piece that goes across here, so you still have visibility when you look out the rear window. So basically this whole thing is a lip, and that puts about 500 pounds of downforce. So that's for some serious high speed, fast tracking action. Now, I don't track the car, but I'm really mainly going for the looks. You know, it's going to give it the aggressiveness is what I'm going for here. The aggressive appearance. Anyway, we got that taped up. Why don't we get these bolts out now? So let's take these T10s out. And they should come out for you just with the, let me show you what I got here. It's a T10 socket setup, 1/4 inch drive with this hand screwdrivers, you know, I guess you call it. So they just come right out, no biggie, and they shouldn't be in, you know, that tight where you need a ratchet or anything like that. So just take your time, and that way you can salvage the original ones. You don't have to, you know, if you scratch them, I guess you're getting rid of them. It's not the end of the world, but if you want to keep it for the next guy or maybe sell them, subsidize the price of the new ones, because I'm going to tell you right now, these 2 pieces of plastic, like everything else for the car, is pretty pricey. I believe, what did I pay? It's about 200 bucks. So I think I've seen these anywhere from like $200 to $240. So it's not cheap. And but if you're, like I say, if you're doing track days, you're definitely going to want to improve the aerodynamics. Eventually, I want to go with a stage 2 for the front splitter. Right now, you know, the car came with stage 1. So I'm going to do that also because of the aggressive look on it. It looks really cool, in my opinion anyway. So you guys let me know down below after we get this sucker on if you think it's worth it. Alright, so those 5 are out. And now comes the fun part. Let me grab a plastic pry tool. So this is where we want to pay attention. We don't want to scratch anything up. I'm just taking one of these plastic pry tools. You know, it's a flat kind of deal. And I want to start, let's start on the edge here and pull it out and try to come around. So you guys, yeah, you got it in the shot there. and I'm just going to start pulling on it. Now if it doesn't want to go too easy, and it seems like it's holding really tight, there's, I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah, I think I did, there's 3M tape behind this. So what we might do is, and I'm pulling really hard right now, you guys can't see it, so what I might do is you'll get a hair dryer and heat this up, because if it's warm it tends to want to let go, but maybe I can get it. Let's see. I'm working it slowly and carefully. Now you know why I got the tape on, because you never know. You never know when a slippy's going to happen. And what you can't see is I'm kind of chopping away the tape, the two-sided tape. You keep pulling on it. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary, but it'll go. You get it in from here, then come in from this angle. See if you can release it there. Just kind of cut that tape away. Little by little. And I'm not worried about what's going on behind it, because obviously you won't see that if that gets a little scuffed or scratched. There we go. Just pulling pressure out. And pulling back. While I kind of cut the tape, so to speak. It's foam. That double-sided stuff is kind of like glue, sticky foam. So just take your time. Go slow and steady. I'm kind of pushing the tool down in there, breaking that foam 3M tape while I pull back. We go all out here on the Ozzstar channel, so let me show you what's going on back here. Anyway, so I've got some, slack, I could call it, and there, that gray stuff is the 3M tape. And what I'm doing is taking the tool and I'm slicing down into it. It's not hard to cut. I'm just taking that yellow pry tool and breaking the bond here as I work my way down. Just take your time, and before you know it, the nightmare will be over. Alright, I think this is about to pop off. So a little more. The end over here doesn't really have much tape. So try to keep my big nose out of that. And I think we're about free. There we go. Bingo. Okay, so that's that. Here's the back. And now we've just got to clean up all this tape and glue and get this prepared for the new one. So what I'll be doing here is just kind of pushing it off with my thumb. It comes off, this stuff comes off pretty easy. So it's not, it's going to take a little bit of elbow grease, and once this is off, we'll prep the surface, get that nice and clean for the new stuff. So I'm not going to bore you with this, but just take your thumb. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And just kind of get these tape boogers off, just like this. So you can see it's going to take me a little bit of time, and once I get this all off, I'll fire the camera back up. So here's our stage 1, and here's our stage 2. Big difference, real big difference here. As you can see, I got everything cleaned up. So after I got that adhesive off, I took some cleaner and just got this real clean, nothing slippery, nothing slick. I'm not polishing it or anything. I want this tape back here to bond. So the next thing we do is we're all set to go. You know what I might do? I took the tape off, the painter's tape. I'm gonna put just around the corner here, one piece, because that wing could kind of flop around as I get it into position. Here's a little tip for you guys that use tape. Just doggy ear it. You see how fast it is to get to that? I can't stand when people just rip the tape and just put it right down. Just take it and fold it over. Takes 2 seconds. It's a pet peeve of mine. Next guy that needs to use it, boom, or lady, can just peel it off. No biggie. So let's just stick this right here on the end and give that some protection. There we go. That way we'll sleep better at night. So just peel this red tape back. I mean protective coating or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. And what's nice is they doggy air it like we just did with the masking tape, so you can actually grab onto it. You know, they just don't cut it flush, so it comes right off. And on the end, what I noticed, this just has a piece of foam. There's no glue to it, it's just foam. So we're all set. Now the trickiest part here, and forgive me if I'm in the way of the camera, but I got to see what I'm doing. I'm gonna line, because this stuff sticks really, you know, real firm. So once it's there, it's pretty much there. And I'm just gonna go light. So right now, when I say light, you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll start on the end here. Let me come across. I'm gonna start on this the opposite way we took it off. So I'm gonna get this screw lined up. Since there's no glue, you know, there's no sticker, so to speak, over here, we can start over here. That'll be good. So let me do that. Let me start on this end. I'm gonna get that going. There we go. And I'm just gonna leave it loose. I'm not going tight. It still can move, but it's being held in position. And let me see, I'm looking through here, make sure my holes are gonna line up. It looks like it's a little stiff right there. Let's loosen this up. I need to come a little to my left. That's what it's looking like. And a little bit up. So just take your time. You know, the tape will kind of hold it there. I didn't push it hard because this is like pressure sensitive. So once you start putting pressure down on this guy, it's not going to want to leave you. So let's get that going. If it feels like it doesn't want to go in straight, just leave it. Don't force it. Let's move to this next one here. That one's giving me a little problem over there. There we go. So that one went in. It's not all the way in, but it started nice and easily. This guy's being a little difficult. So we'll just do them one at a time. We'll do it case by case. So this way it'll self-align itself, so to speak. The bolts are not lining up. These 1, 2, and 3 are, and I'm having a difficult time. You probably can't see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. I'll show you what's going on in case you run into this problem. Well, those holes right here are just a little bit off. So I don't have my light with me, but I think you can see it. So back in there, let me get a flashlight. Okay. So you can see, hopefully you can see that that hole is a little bit off center, and it looks like I need to go wider. This plastic has to be shaved out on the left side. So I'm going to do that now. Let me take a file. I'm telling you guys, it's always something, man. I mean, it's never easy. So I'm just taking a file. I got a round file right here. And very gingerly, I'm going to widen it up a little bit. We'll see if that helps. Hopefully it will. It's just not fitting as well as I'd like. The rest of it fits okay. It's just these holes are a little bit off. Oops. Don't want to scratch anything. Take your time. All right, let's give this a shot now. Last thing you want to do is strip these out. Strip the threads in that spoiler out. And you're going to have a nightmare of a day. So, let's see. Well, I got to go a little more, I think. Wait a minute. Nope, that one started. Pretty much. That's good. Seems like it's going in okay. Good. And let's try this guy now. I think this might need a little more love. maybe not. Let's see. Okay. Nope. What I'm doing is just filing the left side of that hole. Real gingerly. Just to give us a little more space. That's always something. Let's see here. Let's see if this will start now. Beautiful. Maybe. There it goes. Okay. Oops, my socket just fell off. All right, so that's good. Everything looks nice. Let's get this, let me push this spoiler on now. We want to make sure that double-sided tape bonds real good. I'm probably in the way of the camera. Okay. And we're just going to hand tighten these now that everything's lined up. When I say hand tighten, we're not going to go ballistic and, you know, torque these down to 80 pounds or anything. Just hand tight. They have Loctite on them, and we've got the double-sided tape. So the important thing is to take your time and don't scratch anything here. All right. So now with the screws in, or the bolts, I'm just going to put pressure on it. Make sure that 3M tape bonds. All right, with the bolts all in, I give it a little bit of detail juice, get the fingerprints off, and let me take the camera off the tripod and give you a little kind of before and after look. We'll compare it to the driver's side. Let's see here. There we go. So that's that, and that's what we had. Let me get the light. Let's see. So there's that one, and there's that big boy. All right, I like it. Let's come around here. So you got this one, and now we got that one. All right, so got it all done. This one went on a lot simpler. I didn't have to hollow out any of the holes. They lined up perfectly. So dropped right in, and why don't we fire up the car? I'll pull it outside. It's a real nice day here in January in Delaware, and we'll see how it looks in the sunlight. Let's take a look-see. Here we go. Oh yeah, I like it, I like it. Nice. All right, that sun's full force here in mid-January in Delaware, so good stuff. I'm trying not to squint. Look at that bad boy back there. We're all set to do some track days. So we went from 125 pounds of downforce to 250 pounds of downforce at about 100 miles per hour. So we'll have to give it a shot and see how it goes. Don't forget to click subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Anyway, comments, questions, I appreciate it down below. Click the like button. And other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Take it easy.